A wonderfully loving hello to all of you. Welcome to a new love reading, a love tarot. And today we're going to take a look at what's going on. We're tapping into the energy of the most present energy that wants to show itself here for the collective. You're asking yourself the question, hey, my counterpart has it. Compared me more with other people. Other women, maybe even family members. And you're asking yourself the question, will he stop doing that? Will he realize that I'm different? That he no longer into the same pot? The experiences he has had with other people, will he finally realize that I'm different? Will he be able to set boundaries, to distinguish, to notice? And today we're going to take a look. A wonderfully loving hello again to all of you. You are all so wonderful, absolutely fantastic, each and every one of you. Thank you for your warmth again in the comments. Thank you for your warmth towards me. Thank you for your being, my dear ones. You know, we are in the collective. The character cards are gender neutral, and you transform it for yourself. Always ask again what the person is about. And also your situation. A collective life can't resonate with everyone. And I know you're taking exactly what fits for you and your situation. Feels right. And feels like where you just know, okay, this is it. And if you don't do that, if you say, hey, that doesn't fit my situation at all, some event, because I always bring examples, if that's not for your situation, then it's gone. It's completely okay. And now I would say, let's get started. We're kicking off. What's going on with the person in front of you? Please remember this. Will he notice that you are different from everything he has experienced with other people so far? Let's go. So let's take a look. Yes, and whoever will, when you show it, I will of course then go. Also back into time. Tendency, what I want to show from the time. And let's take a look. What's going on there? Well, those are quite, no matter. Let's take them all. So let's take a look at what shows up here. So we have the clouds. All right, we have the clouds. And with the clouds, it's also like this. With your heart person, it's visible that this uncertainty. He himself is actually completely in uncertainty. Opaque and transparent. You might have noticed that again and again, that he is opaque or hard to see through. And that's also the case that he has difficulties within himself again and again. No difficulties. I would say that difficulties are indeed connected to the past. Those are his issues. And there's something in there. Something is exactly that. But, as I said, we have this inscrutability. And there's also pessimism that keeps showing up in him. Tree is always about the bond. By the way, this is about that energy, which we've encountered quite a few times already. So here, it's really about your counterpart, your heart person, your desired partner. It's truly about bonding. It's a big current theme. What is being presented, what is showing up is really about solidifying and stability. It's about relationships. I'm not just talking about a relationship, friendship, or just knowing each other, or however you want to put it, but really in a life partnership. But there is a development to be seen, a healthy development. And maybe he or she has quite a bit of patience. And your patience is also being completely tested here. But there's something that keeps moving him because a lot of emotion is shown there. A lot of emotion. And a lot of thoughts and feelings. That's what's currently going on with your heart person. What's going on inside him? That's a very powerful card. So we really have a lot here that shows the whole situation. We have a very big theme, his past, and it really works the connection directly. About the relationship, it's really about that. But there's nothing in between where you could say, okay, maybe we should take a look at it somehow. No, that's a big theme. He's really thinking about this. So, here's a thought. And the thoughts, to conclude, are emotions that are being shown. So he's thinking, and one thought that comes, maybe without him wanting it, triggers an emotion in the person opposite you. A very strong attraction is also shown. Attraction. The bond, the connection. So something keeps pulling him back to think about relationships. A big theme, a very, very big theme. Yes, as I said, a lot of feeling, and he is also very sensitive, but also paired with his fears. What exactly it is about fears? And as for the attraction, we'll definitely take a closer look at this. Let's see what else I want to show here. It has to do with you. It definitely has to do with you. You engage someone. That's it. You are the trigger. You are in his thoughts. The trigger, his thoughts, concluding, emotions, feelings come up here. That's it. And especially when it comes to a relationship, a bond. So something is really occupying him here. And it's also about the attentiveness. And there's also a bit of something that he's very cautious, also towards you. So something is occupying him here. We're in that area. But he notices that you are different. Maybe someone out there has always been telling something different, trying to make you look bad. Always interfering. Such a troublemaker. There's something involved here that also has to do with betrayal. In his environment, something sneaky. And it could also be that he, from the experiences he has had, that this has also been the case, the topic in connection with you. That he does this because of that experience. Maybe it was betrayal. Manipulation. Betrayal can be sexual. Betrayal in all areas. It can be the material things. It can also be about exploitation. And then that he assumed that that's why he's also incredibly cautious with you. You might want exactly the same thing. This superficial stuff. Or maybe just the material things. But he's definitely preoccupied with something. Thoughts keep coming up. They keep surfacing here. Thoughts, emotions, feelings. And that has to do with you. Then let's see what else we can get from that. What you have shown, what it's all about. But really also notices that you are different, not like the others might exploit. Because somehow it always seems like he looked away. It looks like this, that he didn't want to see what might really touch you, or into the depth, this superficial stuff. But I'll put it this way, as it's shown here, it's really like a, yes, it could be the early dawn, the evening hours, or maybe when things get quieter, that something keeps coming up, triggering a feeling in him or her. Yes, a heartfelt person is incredibly distrustful, And the main theme is his or her past. That's what we have here as the main theme. Really, that's a central point for him. And that puts him completely under pressure time and again. And then these fears keep coming up again and again. He wants. Something is there, and then the fear comes. The fear is related to his past. And love has to do with it. Wow. So this is really starting to get interesting with what's being shown here. So let me tell you one thing for sure. Are in his thoughts. And that a lot too, yes, also, regarding the evening hours. In the home environment, it doesn't always have to be the evening, the early twilight, because there's always something that keeps coming up here. And there we have again and again feelings, emotions, connection. My person from the heart is here. We have the public also means the outside here. Another person, his experience, what he has done over and over again. We really have a sexual betrayal. Maybe you know it, maybe you don't. Because we see in every single reading what's going on inside the other person, in their inner self. What blocks him, what he doesn't want to say, what exactly is lying dormant there. And there it is. And that's what maybe he has, as I said, either said it or repressed it. I more or less always have a secret about it. So just this, what's half of it or just a quarter of that? Because we definitely have betrayal. Not just sexually, but it's being shown to me very clearly. This betrayal, and always just the material. Here we are again with the topic. What's showing up here again, what I'm seeing now, is quite present. Like the last little while, what we've had a bit of all of that somehow. It can be the environment, it can be the past, childhood. We've always focused on the material. That's it. Only if you can show this and that, if you have this, then you are someone, then you will be seen. It's always just money, 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 money. So, the superficial. And there I have him completely, there he is. So right now, things don't look particularly good for him. Because there he is too. He's paired with his fears, which are related to the financial issue. Because that completely stresses him out. I really drained him. I really have him left out in this area. Yes, he shows something different on the outside. No, all good. I'm fine. No, it's fine. Everything's great. No, I have no problems. So I have him lying here. But basically inside, he seems to me like he's eaten up, devoured. I confused him. I see him restless, insecure. He even doubts himself. It's such a 24/7 struggle to get out of it. Because he's really struggling a lot with himself, with his situation. And it's like this from others, it's also about the experiences he's had, and it really hit him hard. Maybe he also, someone must have borrowed money here, something like that. Here, I'm not necessarily talking about something material. I'm more referring to the financial aspect, like this amount of money, something. It may well be possible that this is the case. A financing was made in his name, or that he joined here as a citizen, or that he took out a loan and gave it to someone else. Because it's about here. That he gave something to someone else, among other things. And he doesn't really get anything back from all of this. That's it. And it's always so kind-hearted, so understanding, because he always wants to be seen in a good light. And that's the topic. With him, until then, no matter how far back it is now, it could be current. I have it pretty current. But it could also be a while ago. I only have it current because it keeps coming up in repetition. That it occupies him. It could also be that this is the issue that keeps coming back to him, that he once lent someone money, male as well as female. I'll say from this area, I would rather go into the female area, like in partnerships or something like that. And then it's like he didn't get it back properly, that he was lied to over and over again. No, that's not possible. So over and over again, he was played with
and over again because that is his self-confidence. Because he doesn't really trust anyone right now. And here we have this topic because I have the loss of money very intensely on my mind. And those are always his fears. And his fears are based on the experiences he has had. Not just once, because it was always like that with money, the material things and so on and so forth. And then there's also fraud here. So, in terms of sexual betrayal, it also looks like he really caught the person, the partner, with someone else. Because I can sense this shock moment with him. Caught with someone else. Because I can sense this shock moment with him. Wow. And that is really the issue. Because that person was still playing both sides. With one or another person, I also sense that they just used him and went back to the ex again or chose someone else. So basically, she was playing both sides always because I keep sensing him. He was pushed aside, he wasn't seen, and he was also overlooked. And because of that, he is completely insecure and is constantly chasing after all sorts of things to get attention, to be seen. Because I sense him really holding on to the past, but like really intensely, he or she is clinging to the past. And also, yes, unfortunately, to what he has experienced. So, his experiences, what he has gone through, what he has lived through. So, I don't want to completely shield him here, you know? Because, I mean, he is a bit of a little rascal, you know, the way he's being shown to me. Because I have this feeling of, with this dishonesty, there's always a bit of that. They're trying to talk their way out of it. And so there, yes. But okay, different topic. By the way, it's shown here on the side, which means I can't really interpret much more of what is being shown to me on the side. And so we should actually do the next spread on this topic now. What's going on there exactly? If you want to know that, so, and that is his experience. So, and now you come, you are now here. Yeah, this, it went boom. I've been incredibly careful with him, yeah. It doesn't matter whether you still have contact or not. I've always been careful with him. Careful, suspicious, incredibly suspicious. And you might have noticed that he keeps reacting strangely, right? Maybe couldn't decide, ran away, withdrew, and maybe he didn't really express feelings with one or the other. Or always having this focus on the material. You notice that, and you've also had your thoughts about it. You've always given, because I also have a really big issue with him, jealousy. You've always given everything possible. Even if you said hello to someone, and the person opposite you, like male, then like that, you female to the person until you just said hello, because that was bubbling up inside him. But he never completely opened up to you about everything that really happened in his past. Maybe just small bits of what he said. But with just 3 or 4 little bits, you can't get a complete picture. Because I see you in your thoughts. Here I have, what is that? What might I have done wrong? What was going on here at all? And that's what he kept showing you. That there's something there. Maybe he didn't say when he reacted so strangely why he reacted that way. And you thought to yourself, but why? Hey, I'm right here with you. I love you. That's what you said to the person opposite you. You felt that, and for you, it's clear. You are my everything. I'm here for you. I only want you, no one else. But it's your personality. Let's also say hello, because I see you as friendly and open, living here. But he is. Or maybe also in communication, when you might have been online, and he saw it, because that's what's always bubbling up inside him. What keeps bothering him over and over. Because no matter what he shows you out there, he doesn't really trust himself. The self-confidence, no matter how he shows it outwardly, I don't have that. I keep tipping him over and over, lying empty. As I said, the past, what he has experienced, we've already talked about that here. So, and then it is like this. What's bothering him now, all of a sudden? And now I have, as mentioned earlier, always the focus on the home environment as well. That he's thinking about you, that you would react differently. There's always something, no matter if he's in contact with someone or in a relationship with someone else, or the connection. I also feel it very strongly in the family area. By the way, lying And it's like this, that the memory always comes back, no, you would have done that differently. You would have reacted completely differently. You would have reacted warmer, more understanding, more empathetic, because that's what he longs for now. That's where it really clicked now. And he misses that because he misses you. And you are really something very special to him. There I have the determination too. And there I have the connection with his heart to you in your direction. You're being shown twice. So from that perspective, it definitely revolves around you. And here he really notices how relaxed you are. Actually, you are. And now, to the question of whether he notices that you are different from the others, we have a very clear picture. You might react differently in public or have reacted differently. You always have this, oh, yeah, okay, if that doesn't work out, then we'll just do something else. No problem at all. And he also notices your inner values, this appreciation. It deepens more and more. Because there I completely see the change within him. Because that's where something new begins for him. Because he realizes, no, this is also, when it comes to the material things here, he notices that he is now aware of this. I have now completely reached his conscious level, that he realizes, because she is also disappointed, that this is really only about money for those around him. Really money, bam. And that with you, where you say, yes, no, I want, not at all, fits. And of course, I need my money, right? But you react completely differently. You do something small like that, you do something like that. Beautiful. And with him, it's that he really notices it now. Because he really notices it now, that from the other side, no matter if it's family or relationships, that this is really just radically about the material. And above all, that he is being taken advantage of. That he is really being treated like a puppet. And you are not. And he couldn't do it the whole time. He kept saying he didn't notice it. He was always just floating on the surface, splashing around, where you thought you had given him everything to show him that you really want him, that you mean it sincerely, that your love is real, that it is genuine. And he couldn't and didn't want to see it. But now it's like this. That he really notices it now. Here comes one injury after another. He really notices he compared him. Really, the comparison is there now. And it's very clear to him that you would have decided differently. That you acted differently. And above all, he really sees your outer and inner beauty now. Your inner beauty, this completeness, how you are. If he maybe thought something like that the whole time, what he definitely didn't want, what was always so dismissive, what he didn't want to say. Now I have him in my thoughts. He would like to tell you, because he really needs the support. Whether you still want him, of course, is the second question. Because he really has to put in a lot of effort. And he will do that. I have him completely vulnerable here, incredibly fragile. If you haven't had contact yet, and then you do reconnect, you'll also notice over time how fragile, how soft he is, like modeling clay. Something like that. This is really becoming very smooth now. Also because I have him much more here on the heart level. Because he really has the injury in his heart. And he always had this protective barrier around him, like a protective wall, a protective layer, whatever you want to call it. So what else do we have? Yes, and we are also involved in the communication. On one hand, he or she is very strong in communicating with themselves. So we really have him here. I see him being thoughtful, and that he actually takes the time to think things over. Because it is, well, some people don't really think things through. Men as well as women, you can't generalize that anymore. Men are like this, women are like that. No. Because I have him here, in a state of change, completely in transformation. That he hadn't thought about it further before. He just goes with the flow, does what he does. So, as he was always used to, because he always let himself be influenced by others. But now I have him in a state of change, where he is finally starting to think, finally getting into the thinking process. He doesn't overthink, but he thinks about it. How you would react. and the situations he has. And those are little things, for example, in the family. It can only be some kind of statement, some word, or some kind of action, an activity. And then boom, it's like it goes boom again for him. So inside, it looks like another balloon is about to burst. And then what's inside the balloon? Well, there are these balloons where you can pack in confetti, whatever, all sorts of things. And then it feels like there's some kind of information in there that he can now see, that he has in front of him. He is, as I said, very strong in communication, even with himself. Communication is definitely a big topic where he has always been closed off, superficial, where it also lacked depth. There, it is now. In this connection, it's now going deeper. And communication is a really big topic. And he also knows that there's still something to clarify with you, and he wants to talk to you. What I mean by clarifying, I want to set aside a bit for now. But he knows. He can talk to you. He can trust you. You don't stab him in the back here. He knows that this is the realization he has. Communication is the key to everything. Where he has always run away, where he has closed himself off, locked himself up, that's it. And the key, yes, he opens up, and he opens up, and he also opens up to someone. And in this case, you are that someone that it opens up to you, because I have the communication here between the two of you, because he knows you are actually the key to everything, because you always have advice, you know, this and that. So you are like a rock in the surf for him or for her. And I find that very, very nice. And that the change is coming, that the message is coming, I have that here with certainty. Because he knows now is the time to open up. And above all, this opening up, not shutting himself off, so that he can finally get this clear view, this perspective that he hasn't wanted to see or acknowledge all this time. And at this point, he is now, if he's not at this point yet, I would say roughly 4 days, 4 weeks, up to months. But I would say here, I'm more in the weeks range. It could also be 6 weeks, because I still have a little bit of a delay here. Yes, so it's really making a huge difference, isn't it? And now it's like this. There's really always movement happening here. Because something is always opening up here. And the moment he knows he is now completely in this change, even if it doesn't happen quickly, we have movement here. So, like I said, 4 weeks, 28 days, yeah, that range. Can it be a little bit? Yes. I always have a bit of a shortening here. So, that we are now here, let's say about 6 weeks, or that we can also shorten the weeks a bit. But we really, 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 really have movement here. Dear ones, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching, and I wish you a wonderfully beautiful rest of the day. Bye.